Dear friends, time is running out. Our government wants to pass this. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is urging all lawmakers to take swift action before a government shutdown. But unexpected changes have just been proposed. This includes adjustments to Medicare, Social Security, and the SNAP program. My friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video to hear about all of the details. Also, this coming Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dear friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways.
Now, part of what we have to do is we can have a different discussion about fees and whatever you want to call them. But I think it's fair to say I can't imagine any reasonable member of Congress not saying, I want the person to know what their financial obligation is when they sign an instrument, not after they read page 10 in the fine print. So I stipulate that. I want to support that or work on that. We have similar issues in healthcare, a number of other areas where we need transparency. And Ms. Siegel, your point on the rent, I'm less caught up in whether or not a trash collection fee is appropriate or not, and more caught up in does that renter know at the point in time they're signing a lease what they're expected to pay every month. It's another example of transparency. We can discuss the fees. I mean, if one fee goes away, the rent could go up. We know that at the end of the day, they're going to try and collect enough to manage their risk and pay their own bills, the landlords. So I agree with that. I think that practice is wrong. But I'm still concerned with and we've had several references in the opening statements about the CFP could do this or could do that. But I personally think they have a scattershot and ill-defined regulatory approach right now. Mr. Johnson, can you talk about the effect of the method that the CFPB is using to go after this and the impact that the negative implications it has?
Well, thank you, Senator. I mean, the use of the phrase scattershot, I think, is apt with respect to the approach that the CFPB is using. To have any chance of success in a regulation, from my experience at the agency, you have to carefully identify a market failure. You have to come up with a proposal that's narrowly tailored to address the root causes of that market failure. And you have to undergo careful cost-benefit analysis to determine whether or not your solution is going to be worse than the problem to begin with. And so there are many unintended consequences that come when agencies cut corners, and a scattershot approach will have those unintended consequences.
One unintended consequence could be reducing underbanking or unbanking certain people because you've reached a point where it's no longer fiscally viable for a product or service to be offered to a certain segment of the population. Is that one?
Absolutely. There's a long-standing trade-off between price and access.
Yep. Is the CFPB a prudential regulator?
It has no safety and soundness mission. It's a market conduct regulator like the SEC or FTC, who are appropriated by Congress.
Today, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy told members of his conference that House Republicans are planning to take up a short-term stopgap funding measure to avoid a partial government shutdown. The continuing resolution is expected to extend current funding until early December, providing lawmakers a few extra months past the September 30th deadline. Speaker McCarthy said he did not want to have a continuing resolution run up to the Christmas recess. The House Speaker's announcement, which came as a little surprise, served as an acknowledgement that the clock is running out for completing appropriations on time. The House has passed just one of its 12 annual appropriations bill, though Speaker McCarthy told members that he's still planning on taking up additional spending bills after the House returns from their recess. But before the recess, House leaders had to abandon plans to bring the agriculture bill to the floor. Members of the House Freedom Caucus called for deeper cuts than appropriators included. Some House conservatives want spending to be pulled back to the fiscal 2022 levels. House appropriators use $115 billion in rescissions to lessen the effects of spending cuts, while a continuing resolution will now be necessary to keep the government fully funded and open. Lawmakers have voiced growing skepticism that Congress will be able to pass it. The Senate, which is writing its bills to the more generous spending caps set in the debt limit suspension law, advanced all 12 bills out of the Appropriations Committee in wide bipartisan votes before the recess. However, the two chambers remain far apart on spending levels. The Farm Bill is wide-ranging legislation that sets funding and directs priorities for a variety of federal food consumption and production programs. Congress usually debates and renews the Farm Bill every 5 years. The most recent Farm Bill passed as the Agriculture Improvement Act of 2018, meaning it expires at the end of this September, which marks the end of the federal fiscal year. The SNAP program typically receives the largest funding share of any program in the Farm Bill. The Congressional Budget Office estimates roughly $120 billion in SNAP spending per year over the coming decade. The number of Americans who receive SNAP benefits tends to rise or fall, along with the unemployment rate. The SNAP program falls under the nutrition policy area of the Farm Bill, which is administered by the USDA. It affects the most number of people of any Farm Bill program, and it's heavily debated in Congress. The Fiscal Responsibility Act, signed by President Biden in June, expands the age range requirements for food stamp recipients, known as able-bodied adults without dependents, starting September 1st, 2023. Childless workers who are 50 years old will be required to show they are working at least 80 hours a month or participating in an education or training program in order to qualify for SNAP benefits. Age requirements will be expanded up to age 52 this October 1st, then up to age 54 on October 1st, 2024. So those requirements already exist for most adults, ages 18 to 49 years old, who do not have any dependents. Individuals who don't meet the work requirements are limited to only 3 months of benefits in a 3-year period. Homeless, veterans, or youth ages 18 to 24 years old who aged out of foster care are exempt from the new requirements. The requirements will be in effect through October 1st, 2030. Nationally, the deal could put SNAP benefits at risk for 750,000 U.S. adults. But there is also a new flexibility in the SNAP program. It will allow some college students who don't usually qualify to receive the benefits. Students who don't traditionally qualify because of their status as students will now be eligible if they've already enrolled in a qualifying employment and training program. Dear friends, please let me know if you've lost your SNAP benefit in the recent months. Well, my greatest and most beautiful friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video. My dear friends, thank you so much for being here and for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, I will be announcing several winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. My friends, if you would like to enter these weekly giveaways, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways.